and you see how many spells we still have in the end. It's insane. I mean, I could not even imagine that there is an army in the new Legends League system that will allow us to swag so much spells. Hello dear friends, my name is Solomon, and today in this video I want to show you an army that surprised me a lot, because I couldn't even imagine that there is an army for the Legends League that can allow you to swag even 1 or 2 spells. And I'm not saying that I was expecting to swag even more, but this army that I will show you today actually allows you to do that. Besides, this army is very simple to use. I mean, there are lots of great armies, but very difficult armies in which, if you do everything correctly, you can triple, but one mistake and you fail. But this army doesn't give you many chances to make a mistake. Besides, I was playing with this army only for 1 day, and I have already received great results. I did 6 triples out of 8 attacks, which is huge. I mean, you know that the new Legends League is really difficult, and you have to be a really skilled player to do triples in it. But this army actually allows you to do triples pretty much easily without many difficult moves. And I will show you this army, of course, in this video. I will show you some live attacks with my voice over comments, and I will explain you how actually this army works and how it allows you to even swag some spells in the new Legends. But before that, guys, I just want to ask you, please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Your support is very important for me. Besides, you can support my channel even more by just simply writing any comment below this video and hitting the like button. This is all that I ask from you. Thanks a lot in advance, and let's switch to the army, and here it is on your screens. The idea of the army is to do a simple fireball without something out of the box. I mean, without trying to send the fireball into the core of the base and so on and so on. Just do a simple fireball, protect your Grand Warden, and then do a triple hero dive. You have to do separately Queen dive, Royal Champion dive, and King dive. And with that, you will triple almost all of the bases without any difficulties. Let's jump to the attacks, and I will explain you in details how this army works. By the way, the army link will be in the video description. Okay, and we are starting with the first attack. This was my first attack of the day with this army, and I will explain you what I'm doing. So first of all, we are placing a Grand Warden, and we are searching for a good fireball value. Nothing too complex, so we just need to fireball somewhere into the fire speeder, so we are destroying some important defenses and creating some sort of a funnel. We don't have a nice block spell in this army, that's why we have to wait for a good moment. And you see, I'm shooting a fireball there. Now we need to make sure that Grand Warden leaves. In case you see some threat, just recall the Grand Warden with your recall spell. You have to have your recall spell like active to use it immediately if you have to do that. But as I said, we don't have a nice block spell, and that means that we have to be very careful with the preparation of the fireball. The next step is to use our Royal Champion. We are using one Yeti, protecting the Royal Champion and using her Rocket Spear. The next step is to use the Log Launcher with the Queen, Ice Golem, and some Yetis also to funnel. Also an Earthquake spell into the core to open up the walls. Then we're creating the next side of the funnel with other Yetis and sending our King into the core, and we're using our King with a Spirit Fox. This is to protect our King from the damage, so we can let him dive into the core and use his ability over there. Now we have a threat for our Grand Warden, that's why I'm using an invisibility spell for the Grand Warden to protect him, and also using my King ability to destroy some defenses. By the way, I was not very patient here, and I used the King ability earlier than I should, I think, but nevertheless, King has destroyed some defenses. Also, we are reviving our Royal Champion, and this is another thing why we always try to keep as much invisibility spells as possible, because after the revive, the Royal Champion can destroy some defenses, and for that we can do a small Spirit Walk using a couple of invisibilities just to protect the Royal Champion so she can destroy more defenses, and that's it. This is the end of the attack. So you see, basically we don't do any like difficult or a pro player moves. We are just doing a simple fireball and doing a triple hero dive, but we have pretty easy funneling. We have lots of Yetis, and we are just sprinkle them around the base and doing simple funneling for our heroes. So now let's switch to the next attack, and this is another base, and this base is pretty difficult. Of course, there is a great fireball value in the core of the base, but we cannot do that without the ice block spell. That's why we are aiming for the scatter shot near the rage tower. This is a good value, this is a good funnel, and this is not a deep dive for the Grand Warden, so we don't have a big threat for him to get down. Also using one furnace just to help Grand Warden funneling, and we have to wait now. By the way, besides other advantages of this army, we don't have a risk of a time fail, because the attack is very quick, as we are doing I think it's not even 3 hero dive, it's 4 hero dive, because we have all 4 heroes separated from each other. So we are using invisibilities, then fireballing into the scatter shot, destroying some defenses, and now we can wait a little until Grand Warden does his small Grand Warden walk. As soon as we see a threat, we are just recalling him and placing him to another side of the base. So now multi-archer tower goes down, and now we can recall the Grand Warden, so we can switch to other heroes. We just need to make sure that there is a safe for some time place, so Grand Warden can just clear everything there. Now we are sending the Yeti, Royal Champion, Rocket Spear, some Yetis on the right, and Queen with the log launcher and the Giant into the core. The idea is to deal some more damage with the logs, also open the walls for the Queen, and we are funneling our King in another compartment with his Spirit Fox. He can live for some time, so he can do a lot of damage. And now you see our Giant is coming into the core. The core, by the way, is pretty dangerous there, but you will see that we can take care of that. So our Queen alive, Ice Golems are running after our Yetis. Grand Warden is still alive. We still have some spells using King ability, because there is a monolith over there and I had to protect him or to deal damage to the monolith, and unfortunately the King goes down because of that monolith. But we still have our Yetis, our Queen, and for them we are using the rage spell in the core. So Yetis with the Queen are just destroying everything there. Royal Champion is helping them, and it's a 3-star. You see, again, nothing too difficult. We are just keeping our heroes alive and trying to funnel them into the core, and that's it. We don't do anything too difficult. We're switching to the next attack. Again, the same idea, the same army. So now we need to find a good place for our fireball, and I decided that I think, yeah, the best place for the fireball would be the X-bow near the scatter shot. At a second, I thought that probably fireballing that X-bow would destroy the clan castle. It was a mistake, by the way, but nevertheless, by fireballing into the X-bow, we are destroying the monolith, the scatter shot, the X-bow, so some important defenses will be destroyed, and that's okay for us. So we are waiting for Grand Warden to destroy some defenses, so we don't use too much invisibilities. As I said, we want to save some invisibilities for the Royal Champion. That's why I decided to invis the Tesla towers, and then shoot the fireball because I saw that the Grand Warden is moving to the left. So instead of the X-bow, I'm fireballing the multi-inferno. Probably because of that I didn't destroy the clan castle. Then I can wait for some time to let Grand Warden clearing up some defenses just to do a better funnel, and after that we can recall him. By the way, I don't remember exactly, probably in this replay I pulled out the CC troops, and I saw that there is a witch and ice golems there. So I decided to let Grand Warden kill the CC because there is no damage incoming into the Grand Warden. That's why we can allow ourselves to take down the Clan Castle troops and then recall the Grand Warden. And besides, you see, I left the ice golem before it explodes, so I don't waste time with the Grand Warden being frozen. The next step, we are sending our heroes, and I decided that I can send the Royal Champion on top. So the giant arrow goes through the base, also the log launcher there, Royal Champion on top, and between these two heroes we are sending our king with the Yetis and the nice golem. Besides, here I think I used there is not enough the wall breakers. That's why you see the king will not go into the core. He will try to destroy the walls. Now there is a small threat for our Grand Warden. That's why I'm using invisibility and rage spell to protect him. Yetis from the log launcher with the queen are coming into the core, destroying the town hall. By the way, we still have our king alive, and at that moment I think I used his ability right away, but probably I should save it for a little bit later. But nevertheless, you see, it's a 3-star. Again, we still have 2 invisibilities just in case we need the protection for our heroes. We have all our 4 heroes alive. This is insane for the Legends League. So much troops left and some spells left is still insane because the Legends League is pretty tough. In this attack, there was a miracle with the Sneezy, and you will see what will happen here because the Sneezy actually made a triple here, and in this replay I will explain you one mistake that I think I made. So again, the idea is to do a good fireball, and here I decided to fireball into the multi-gear cannon, because this way we should destroy the cannon, the multi-inferno, the monolith and the X-bow. And we don't let our Grand Warden go too deep into the base, getting too much damage. So invisibility, fireball, destroying the monolith, and just after that recalling the Grand Warden. You have to be very careful with that because you don't want your Grand Warden to go down, of course. And the next step, I am sending the heroes, but actually I should place the Grand Warden on the other side. Not that 9 o'clock, but something around 12 o'clock, I think, to use the fireball spot as a part of the funnel. And now I'm sending queen with the log launcher into the core, king on top, royal champion on the bottom. By the way, royal champion went down very quickly, and that's the problem. I think we probably should use her somewhere else. And I think used the king ability here too early. You will see what I'm talking about, because actually you see how the walls are open. That means that king would go into the core anyway, but instead I just used his ability. He opened the walls for himself, and he didn't go to the town hall. So actually I should wait until the king goes into the core and use his ability there. So in the end, we have our Grand Warden moving towards the king because he saw the king, and that's why he joins him, and everybody is just standing in front of the fire speeder, which is not good. I revived the royal champion, but she will go down very quickly, and at this moment I decided, okay, we will have a time fail probably, or even a fail, because we will have a queen also there and the fire speeder, but the fire speeder goes down, and this is the moment the Grand Warden will get killed by the queen because he didn't switch on time. I think if he could switch earlier a second, then he would kill the queen. And now the Sneezy comes to protect and to save us a triple. So she gets a black mine, but she's still alive. She moves further and she starts to destroy the elixir storage. So the elixir storage also goes down. Now I start to have a hope, but she goes down with the black mine. But those small things from the Sneezy just take care of the last building, and it's a 3-star. It's a miracle, but it's still a 3-star, which is insane. And now one more attack. This is the last attack that I will show you today, but this is the like the craziest attack with so much spells swagged. I couldn't even imagine that we can have so much spells swagged in the new Legends mode. So the idea here is absolutely the same. The only difference is that I tried to use the Ice Block spell, but at the end I decided that Ice Block spell is not needed for this army because we are just trying to use 1 or 2 invisibilities for the fireball, not more, because we want to save as much invisibilities as possible for our Royal Champion, and we need 1 more earthquake to help the log launcher to open the walls. That's why we don't have any space for the ice block. But here I tried to use that. I used a couple of invisibilities. Probably I could use only 1, destroying some defenses in that compartment and letting our Grand Warden just clear a little bit more until he gets too much damage. We see their multi-gear tower. That means that as soon as Grand Warden comes closer, he will start to get some damage. But besides, there is also a hook tower. And you see, when the hook tower turns towards our Grand Warden, we need to recall him, because otherwise we will get hooked. So we are placing Grand Warden here, and we have some time to send our other heroes, and we are starting from the Royal Champion, the Yeti, the Royal Champion, also Queen with her Giant Arrow. I think I a little bit misplaced the log launcher. Probably I could send it a little bit better, but it's okay this way. And we are sending our king with the Yetis on the right side. So the Royal Champion get hooked, but due to his electro boots, he is pulling out the CC troops, and besides, he destroys the hook tower, which is huge. Our king steps into the core also, and our Grand Warden is still alive. One of the most important things is that we are trying to funnel our king into the core. This is very important. And here exactly that happened. Our queen is still alive. I will use my king ability to let our queen into the core also, so she can destroy the town hall, and the Grand Warden destroys the last buildings. And you see how many spells we still have in the end. It's insane. I mean, I could not even imagine that there is an army in the new Legends League system that will allow us to swag so much spells. This is so huge that I'm totally convinced that this is OP army. This is totally OP army. So this is the army that I was showing you today, guys. As I said, in my opinion, this is the strongest army currently in the game. It is very simple and so powerful, and I cannot, as I said, I cannot even think about any other army that will allow you to swag so much spells in the Legends, and which will be the same simple as this. Nothing too difficult, and no many ways to do a mistake. I mean, you just do simple things and you are just tripling like that. This is all I wanted to show you today, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. The link for this army will be in the video description. See you in the next video. It was Solomon. Bye.